One of the biggest fears that stops people from pursuing their business full-time is concern over financial stability. This is a fully legitimate fear. It's certainly one of the main reasons that so many people who think about starting a business, even people who may actually have the right level of skill, commitment, and discipline, never actually take the leap. Now, if you've been laid off or you otherwise don't have any income from employment, there's less of a potential sacrifice in starting a new business. But if, for you, starting your own business means transitioning away from a well-paying job, the sacrifice and the risk are clear. There is a way to spread the risk and make the transition more manageable. In this module, we'll use my blueprint to help you create your personalized financial runway to build a thriving 7- or 8-figure business. We'll cover how to calculate your personalized financial runway to launch, tips on managing personal and business expenses, the revenue required to mitigate the risks associated with quitting your job, and how to grow after that. The blueprint is based on a 6-month timeline, 3 months for launching your side hustle, and 3 months for transitioning into full-time. But you don't need to limit yourself to 6 months. You can collapse this timeline, or you can expand it based on your circumstances. But keep in mind that if you expand it too long, it may affect your momentum. And if you collapse it to a few weeks, it means you're probably cutting corners. But let's dive in. Let's go to the first tab, personal expenses. You'll see here what I listed as typical yearly personal expenses. And I have in column D, sample data. And then in column F, that's where you enter your own data. So you'll see categories like food, childcare, medical, housing, transportation, civic engagement, if you're making contributions to nonprofits, all that good stuff is here for a total of $40,000 of annual personal expenses. Now, this is going to be different depend on where you live. So again, your column F is where you enter your own data. And then below the personal expenses, there might be some individualized expenses. So maybe loans, elder care, maybe you're helping a family member or friend. Maybe there's some hobbies and recreation activities that you also have planned for. So list all of that here. So at the bottom of the sheet, you'll see the total annual personal expenses, combining both the personal expenses and then what I called the individualized expenses. So in our case, with the sample data, it's $51,000 a year, and it's a bit over $4,200 a month. So that's for your personal expenses. Now, for the business expenses, same thing. Go to the second tab or the third tab here and look at things like office rent, utilities, office supplies. You have to build a website for your business, marketing expenses. But all of that, again, your own data in column F. I have the sample data in column D. So in our case here, you'll see $25,000 and some change for annual business expenses. And then I also added service-specific expenses. So for example, you might have to buy a specific software or maybe a subscription for your service that you are offering, maybe some equipment, maybe some tools and material. So all of that you list here again in column F, where you enter your own data. But in our sample data set, we put $9,000 for service-specific expenses, totaling the entire amount for business expenses to $3,400 and some change. And then on a monthly basis, you need about $2,800, $2,900. So now in the previous tab, we covered personal expenses. In this tab, we talked about business expenses. So this calculator will have all of that calculated for you, aggregated for you. And you'll see that for our sample data, you'll see the combined total for the personal and business monthly expenses to be $7,137. So that's what we need for our personal and business expenses. So now we move on to the next tab, the runway to launch. So basically here we have 2 phases. Phase 1 is month 1, 2, and 3 for launching your side hustle, all the research or all the planning and getting ready to sell. And then phase 2, this is when you start to market and sell and deliver, and that would be in month 4, 5, and 6. So this is based on our assumption of a 6-month runway. Basically, the first 3 months, they're there for you to prepare, to plan, to launch the side hustle. And then phase 2, this is when you start to market, to sell, to deliver, and to bring money into the business. And again, based on our sample data, like we're going to say in month 4, this is the first month where you market and sell, you'll make $3,500. Then month 5, this is the second month you're selling, you'll make $5,000. And then month 6, $7,500. So if you graph this data here, you'll see that our expenses, the red, they're constant because we've already done the math and they're a bit over $7,000. But then our revenue, we start to get revenue in month 4, and then we get some more revenue in month 5, and then we get revenue in month 6. And this is where we start to make money to cover our personal and business expenses, and we should feel much more comfortable to take that leap. So this is what I want you to do, is to go in and enter your own data here in column F, where you look at your own blueprint. You might want to have your runway to be maybe a 4-month runway or maybe an 8-month runway. So you might have to tweak this a little bit. And if you're struggling with tweaking the spreadsheet, let me know. Email us at blackbelt@startupwithfarris.com and we will help you customize the spreadsheet if you need to. But basically, if you're assuming a 6-month runway to launch, enter your data in column F and you should see the graph, and you'll see when you'll break even and when you actually make more money than your expenses, which is a good thing that I want you to establish. Again, a number of assumptions here. You might start to plan and launch the side hustle and sell in month 2. That's better, right? Or maybe for whatever circumstances you have, you might not be able to sell till month 5. So maybe your service takes longer to deliver or maybe longer to sell. So keep that in mind as you're building up the model. So here's the runway to launch your business and take that leap with more confidence and when you have some revenue coming in. And as I said, we have a number of tabs for you here. We have the first tab where you enter your personal expenses, then you enter your business expenses. We'll aggregate all that for you on this other tab, show you the total yearly and monthly. And then on this runway to launch, this is where you put the assumptions about when is it that you will have sales and the average sales price. And then we'll graph this calculator, will graph out for you when you will hit that break even key point in your business journey so that you can take that leap more confidently and you don't have to worry a lot about expenses. Now it's your turn. Download the attached 6-month financial runway calculator and begin planning your transition from employment to full-time entrepreneurship. If you have full membership in Black Belt Startup, you can share your calculator with blackbelt@startupwithfarris.com and our team will be glad to review it for you and provide feedback. An important note on confidentiality. Any document you submit to us will be held in strict confidence. See you next time.